Cakes by Shannon. Gonna teach you guys how to make some fondant today. I use this for all my characters, any fondant accents I have. I don't like buying the store-bought stuff. Has a weird aftertaste. And I don't even really like fondant, but it looks pretty on cakes. So figured some of you might want to know how to make it. So here we go. I get a big old pan. That's one of my old pans. I literally use this for all my fondant. Big old pan. I fill it with marshmallows. This right here is 2.5 bags. 2.5 of the 10-ounce mini marshmallows. I like using mini marshmallows because they melt faster and it saves me time. I think it probably really doesn't. And then vanilla. Clear vanilla is what I use. Watkins brand. You can use whatever type of vanilla you have. And I just kind of pour it and guess, but I would probably say 2.5 teaspoons. Probably a teaspoon per bag. And then you add some water. I use cold water. You can use cold or hot because you're heating it up anyway. And this is about 1/4 of a cup. I'm not going to pour it all in, probably half of it. And set that aside because I may need more vanilla and I may need more water. I eyeball it, so just kind of stick with me. And I stick it right into the pan. I don't use a double boiler because I like the way it melts and it kind of makes almost a toasted marshmallow flavor instead of doing a double boiler. Try to keep it stirred constantly. You want to see your marshmallows like a wet look to them. That way they're totally coated with the water and the liquid. There'll be a little bit of liquid in the bottom of the pan. Not a whole bunch. You won't see a full layer of water down there, just these streaks of, I don't know if you can see, streaks. And this is actually looking a little dry as it's starting to cook. And I have it on medium-high heat. So I'm going to probably add the rest of that water. So about 1/4 of a cup for 2.5 bags. If you want to make a smaller batch, just cut down on your marshmallows and cut down on your liquid. Just continue to stir. And I kind of do a smell test. See if it's putting off a good smell of vanilla. If it doesn't smell strong enough as vanilla as you would like, you want that flavor to be in there, put a little bit more in. So that's probably 3 teaspoons for 2.5 bags. It smells better. Keep stirring, keep stirring. And you can even turn up your heat a little bit if they're not melting as fast as you would like. You guys can't see, but I have a window air conditioner right behind my camera here, and it's kind of cooling down as it's cooking because it's on so high because it's so darn hot outside today. And honestly, you're going to want to have a bag of powdered sugar. Doesn't matter what brand. I use all kinds of different brands. Whatever store I'm at, I pick a couple up. Keep it open. You're going to pour some into this, and then when it's kneading time, you're going to put some onto your tabletop or wherever you want to mix it. And you need to have shortening on hand too, because that will keep, once the fondant's cooked, keep the fondant when you're kneading it from sticking to your hands. And it's key, because if not, you start kneading that stuff with no shortening on your gloves or on your hands, that stuff's just going to give you 2 marshmallow gloves on your hands. Keep stirring. It's melting down a good bit. And it's melting down a good bit. And I actually need a good bit of fondant this weekend because I have 3 or 4 cakes going out. I have a good bit of fondant on it, so I'm going to pour in some actually probably going to end up using the rest of this bag. So I am actually making 3 bags. Like I said, you can cut it down if you'd like. I'll need a little bit more water. Just a little bit, probably a tablespoon. So probably around, for 3 bags of marshmallows, probably around 1/3 of a cup of water. And I'm going to say 3 to 4 teaspoons of the vanilla. Keep stirring. Scrape the sides of your pan as you're going, and make sure you're scraping the bottom real good and keeping the marshmallow from getting burnt down there. And I have my heat up to almost high, but not quite. 2 notches underneath high. It's getting more melty. The other marshmallows are mixing in. It's a little runny. Still got lumps, and you're trying to make it to, it is lump free, or at least almost lump free. I mean, you can have 1 or 2 lumps in there, but no more than that. I want that marshmallow to be nice and melty. Hopefully you're able to understand me. I tend to mumble. I'm definitely no person that likes to be in front of the camera a lot. But I have been having a lot of problems with getting cakes booked. I mean, I have a lot of people trying to book cakes with me, and I just don't have the time right now between work, my son's baseball, trying to do family vacations. So I figured nothing else, if some of you guys want to attempt to make your cakes at home, this can help you make your own fondant and make your own characters and details and make a homemade cake like my mom used to make every year. Okay, so as I'm showing you, it's all melted. It's melted. So take it off the burner, turn your burner off, get your powdered sugar. You can put about half the bag in here. I just shot it in there. Try not to make a powder mess everywhere, even though I'm a legend for doing that, getting powder all over my kitchen. And stir it slowly in. That way you're not kicking that powdered sugar up as you're stirring it in. Keep stirring. You're going to get a thicker, lumpy mess right now. Now we're going to go over to the kitchen table. I'm sorry, I'm no professional videotaper person. Okay, I got my pie mat. It's like a plastic mat I use. Move this chair out of the way. And I just come in and start pouring powdered sugar down. I go in a circle, kind of follow around the pie chart. And since I have a lot, I'm going to need a lot of powdered sugar on my mat to knead. I'm trying to make almost a dam around the outer edge with the powdered sugar, build it up. And then just a thin layer in the middle. It's definitely going to spread out as soon as that marshmallow hits this. It'll start spreading out everywhere and probably go over my dam, but we shall see. Okay, so I forgot to put my gloves on before I started the powdered sugar. I'm going to put that on before the powdered sugar. You don't have to wear gloves, I guess. For me, I like to wear the gloves. And then now what I'm doing is I got my shortening and just store brand. I like the kind that's a little bit thicker, so not runny shortening is what I use. More high in fat. And I'm just coating my hands, making sure they're all oiled up. The more shortening, the actual better. Come over here. Actually, I should have left one hand unoiled until I poured this in here. Now, I'm scraping with my spatula and holding my pan up and dumping it in. And it's just going everywhere, as you can see. That stuff really spreads out. I mean, it's marshmallow. Try to get as much as I can of the marshmallow out of the pan. Okay. There's still a little bit in there that I would like to get still. And my pan's scraped as well as I can get it. You want to soak that as soon as possible, but since I'm making a video, I'm not going to soak that quite yet because I want to get this video out of the way. That way you're not having to watch this forever. So basically I just start taking the sides and the powdered sugar and folding it in. Keep folding and keep folding. And it's going to look lumpy as crap. You can shift your powdered sugar before you start if you want. But I don't, because honestly I need this enough to where at the end it will not look gross and lumpy no more. It will be smooth and good fondant to use. This is my first time making a video, so if I'm sucking it up, I'm sorry. I hope this helps whoever out there, and I hope I'm giving enough instructions for you to follow along and not get lost, because I want your fondant to turn out. Usually put a pile instead of grabbing out of the container of the shortening. You put a pile, that way you're not grabbing into your shortening is better. I have a little container I usually use, but it is empty at the moment and needs refilled. So I'm making a mess with my powdered sugar, as I said I tend to do, and that's alright. Some cleaner and wet rag or some napkins will get it all cleaned up. Trust me, every time I bake I have powdered sugar all over my kitchen. And it gets cleaned up every night at the end of the night. Just keep on kneading. I know it's like, what the heck, this takes forever. And actually, I think I'm going to need a little bit more powdered sugar. So I may grab a bag of it here in a second if this doesn't start getting thick. Well, as you see, it gets thicker and it's more of, looks like a cookie dough or something. More shortening. And keep on adding shortening as you're kneading, and keep on making sure you're getting more powdered sugar in there, because that's what's going to give you the right texture. And that shortening keeps it from cracking and looking a mess. And I actually took just a chunk of it, set it aside here, and I'm going to keep on kneading it. And I'm going to do it in smaller portions now, just to try to make sure I get all those lumps and crap that I don't want in there out. I'm going to need more powdered sugar, but sorry, allergies are kicking my butt. So there's one or two lumps, and it's still a little sticky because it needs a little bit more powdered sugar and a little bit probably more shortening. Once I'm done with it, I take shortening and I coat it all around the fondant, and then I store it in an airtight container. It keeps it dry, or keeps it moist so it doesn't dry out. And when you're wanting to build characters or you need more stiffness, add cornstarch to it and it'll start thickening it up. Knead cornstarch in, like I've been kneading this powdered sugar in. And sprinkle some down and knead it in. And then keep on adding until you get the thick texture that you want. But this is pretty loose right now because it needs more powdered sugar. But I just wanted to show you That's what it is. That's what it looks like. You need a little bit more powdered sugar, but this one. And then you got your fondant to color and decorate as you please. Hope this helps. Hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.